Hi. My problem is with Dr. Steele's comments on Bill Cosby. A lot of people who are commenting on his comments are basing their views on secondhand accounts. I was there. It was very embarrassing. Any drunk from the inner city could have framed his argument in the manner in which Mr. Cosby did. To give you one example of how insulting and cynical he was, he said that black women are having babies by so many different men that soon their children will have to walk around with DNA cards to identify their fathers. Now, I'm sure you will agree with me that that's not a very intellectual or very productive way or constructed way to present an argument to get people to identify their problems, admit their problems, and take some action to work toward resolving the problem.
Let's get a response, caller.
My own sense, I've seen film clips of the remarks that Bill Cosby made. I don't think all of them, but some of them. And one had the feeling in watching it that some of these remarks were spontaneous, and that they were born of a certain frustration that Bill Cosby, and I identify with this, was sort of tired of holding the party line that we're not responsible for any of our problems, but racism is. And he probably, like as I did, tried to go along with that for a very long time. And this was a moment of frustration, and the language that he used suggested that he was was a kind of eruption. He just wasn't going to lie anymore, and he was going to, as he is quite gifted at, speaking in very colorful terms, and sparing no feelings. And I think that was an outgrowth of his frustration, and that it should not be held against him, because the larger truth, of course, is that he's right. 70% of all black children today are born out of wedlock. In some neighborhoods, inner city neighborhoods, 90% of the children in those neighborhoods are born out of wedlock. Well, when you have an entire race of no school that we ever create, no social program that we ever devise is ever going to be able to correct for the lack of a sound, solid family structure. So the family is the large problem, the big elephant in the living room where black America is concerned. Without a family, without two parents, ideally, raising children is too much work for one, and corners have to be cut. Without marriage and family, then we're consigning ourselves to decades of being at the bottom again. And so Cosby, I'm sorry, maybe he shouldn't have offended anybody in his language, but boy, he spoke a real truth.
Do you know Bill Cosby?
No, I don't.